You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. That is notorious Nick Newell. Right now, he's building an online store with his cousin. How's that going, Nick?
Thank you. It's going good. I'll be selling T-shirts soon, so
Good.
everyone that's asking me for a Nick Newell T-shirt can get one pretty soon. If you go to my fan page, and I'll have all the links, and I'll
Your
post on Twitter too.
your fan page on Facebook or your fan page?
Yeah,
Okay.
on Facebook.
Okay. And that is there a particular? Is it just Nick Newell or is it Nick Notorious Newell or what's the fan page called?
Facebook.com/Nick Newell MMA.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Which means now I have another page I have to like because I don't think I've liked yours yet.
Yes.
I'll be all over it.
Thanks.
All right, let's talk about Fadai. He's your next fight coming up here in World Series of Fighting 7 up there in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's going to be nice and cold, but you're used to it. You'll be all right. It's 53 right now in Vegas. No, excuse me, 47 right now in Vegas, and I'm panicking a little bit because it's too cold. So, yeah, don't pick on me. I left the East Coast for a reason. Let's talk about your opponent. He's 7-2, you're 10-0. Obviously, they're trying to step up your competition a little bit. Every time World Series does a good job of giving a guy just a little bit tougher. What do you see this opponent bringing in?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, the last guy I fought actually was 9-1. But Fadai is been around. He's fought a lot of tough guys. He fought a bunch of times in MFC, and he's fought all over the world, from what I've seen. And he has some pretty brutal knockout power. I've seen some of his knockouts were pretty vicious, and he's also got a good ground game too. He has a bunch of wins by submission. He's long, lanky, never been submitted, but I see a bunch of ways I could beat him, both standing and on the ground. So, I'm ready for a very tough challenge, but definitely one I plan on winning.
Fadai comes in. He's pretty even when it comes to how he wins. It's four KOs and 3 submissions of his 7 wins. And he lost by KO. He's lost a decision. Unlike you, Nick, you come in where you're pretty submission heavy. Like when you come in, you got great knockout power, but you tend to beat guys by submission more times. You have the knockout power, and most of the time these guys get rattled, and you jump into a submission and finish them. You've only got 2 KOs, but you have 7 submissions. So by him just looking at your record and watching your fights, he's working on his ground game to keep you off his back especially, and keep you from getting that choke. When we worked out together, that's the one thing I was worried about, is you getting a little bit of your fingers in underneath my chin, it's going to be over. I can't get you off. You're just too strong. Even though I'm twice your size and 4 times better looking, I still can't stop it. So, do you think
you're twice my size?
Is there been, people know your reputation, they're starting to pay a lot of attention to you. You're still undefeated at 10-0. Do you think he's really starting to look at, okay, how to keep this guy off my back, how to keep him sneaking around? And does that play into your training camp of knowing that this guy knows your old tricks, and does that force you to have to learn new tricks, or does that force you to keep your old tricks but just make them better?
Basically, I have what I do, and I'm gonna do it anyway. I just try to be good enough at what I do that I can do it anyway. But I definitely have a bunch of tricks up my sleeve. I have a bunch of armbar wins that no one's ever seen me even try one, and my fights have been on TV. I have definitely a bunch of different ways I can win, and I wouldn't say I'm mostly a grappler. It just so happens that I try to win fights as easy as possible and as fast as possible, and when I see an opportunity I take it, and it just so happens that it's been on the ground. I'm sure he's ready for what I do, but my training partners know what I do. They know better than anyone else will ever know, so I don't really get too worried about him thinking, oh, he's good at this or he's good at that. If I see an opportunity, I'm going to take it, and I'm known for being good at it for those reasons, is because I am, and I can get it even if someone's trying to stop it.
How does it feel now that World Series of Fighting, a major organization, is putting a lot of media pressure, not pressure on you, but giving you a lot of more media press? You're a guy that does very well with the media pressure. Most guys in your level don't deal with media pressure very well, and that's what kind of freaks them out, but you deal with it very well. How good does it feel to have an organization like World Series of Fighting kind of getting behind you and giving you that big push and making sure that you're getting the limelight and getting TV time, and make sure you're getting these extra interviews and things like that?
Yeah, it's good. If it wasn't for people paying attention, then you wouldn't be able to make a living being a fighter or doing what you do. So you got to appreciate every time someone reaches out to you or pays attention to what you're doing, because that is what allows me to, live it out and be a fighter. So I really enjoy that aspect of fighting. Sometimes it's a little much with such a busy schedule, but I always try to take time to talk to all media and fans and whoever has any questions to ask me. I always try to answer them. And especially with World Series of Fighting, I believe like my followers have like doubled since I made my debut. And it's it's a great organization. They treat you really well, and I couldn't be happier. I definitely have zero complaints about them, and I'm just very appreciative of every opportunity they've given me, and I plan on making the most of it and never spoiling a good opportunity.
What does this win do for you? You beat Fadai. What's going to happen within the weight class? They don't have a belt yet at 155. That's correct, or they have a belt?
Yeah, no, they don't, and I definitely think that I'm in the running right now. Uh, Considering there's a lot of great guys there, but a few of them have taken each other out, so guys are falling off, and I have a lot of momentum behind me, and a lot of people paying attention whenever I fight, which is a great thing. And I mean, if I win this fight, I think maybe one more and I get a title shot, or even if they gave me one after this fight, an impressive showing, I would take it. So
Who do you think that they have already that's in the weight class that would be, if say you win this fight, you win this fight, then they're going to give the title shot? Who do you think the opponent's going to be on the other side?
oh, without a doubt, I mean, Justin Gaethje has been the most impressive out of anyone in World Series of Fighting, and everybody knows that. He's just been going through everyone, and he's looked fantastic doing it. So, if there was a title shot to come, I would assume it would be against Justin Gaethje.
What else do you think is going to happen with World Series of Fighting there, as far as now you have the 55-pound belt? If they come up with that, everyone's still kind of waiting. The media included, waiting to see what Cepho and the rest of the guys are going to do. And then you've already got a couple other belts they've contended. 170 belt they've got put up there with Berkman and all that. Do you think there's going to start being a lot more fan base looking at this? Because especially since it's so easy to get on basic cable. Do you think you said your fan base is already doubled just since your first debut? Do you think it's going to double again once they start having title shots?
I hope so. I mean, uh, I don't know. My main goal is always been the same, and that's just to go out there and win fights, and I always try to finish whenever I fight, and it's exciting. So I guess it makes people pay attention. Plus, people, they like my story and everything that goes into it. So it's a plus. It's not something I'm like, oh, pay attention to me. But if I can get that, then that's good. I'm gonna worry first about winning this fight, though.
All right, Nick. Thanks for taking a couple minutes with us here at MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck up there at World Series of Fighting 7. I'll be at home watching it in front of my fireplace with my blanket on at probably 55 degrees, complaining about how cold it is in Vancouver.
I'll miss you, Frank. I wish you were there.
Come down to Vegas whenever you can. Like, I love training with you whenever you're in town. It's a lot of fun. So whenever you can, get back down here and let's get some more workouts in.
Definitely, and I'll have to stay away from all the good food in Vegas.
That's the
That's my
problem.
only problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right, bud. We'll talk
I
to you
was
soon.
about 85 the last time I left
Oh,
Vegas.
really? You were that heavy?
Yeah, I got pretty big.
Well, we commonly call that fat. We don't call that big. We call that fat because
Yeah, no, it was.
your head was like, your face was like swollen. It looked like you got stung by a bee and your whole head was big and your chin was popping out. I mean, it was great. So I remember. Yeah. Well, we'll fix that next time you're in town for sure.
I'm staying lean.
All right, bud. Have fun, and dude, let me know as soon as your store is up and running, and I'll make sure we get it put out to everybody too.